guys, it's Liv's Little Vlogs. Today I am going to bring you a story time, and no, this is not clickbait. If you read the title, it's actually true. So back in 2015 I was playing a game called Clash of Clans. I still play it from time to time, and it's all basically it's like a farming game where you have to like build up all of your walls, your defenses, and all that sort of stuff. And there's clans that you can join. And back then I joined a clan called Anime Gamers randomly. It just seemed like it was a fun group of people, and it turns out that they were really cool. A lot of them were like really nice to me, and we talked a lot when I was on there. And so one of the main people, let's just call him Zach, and he'll get a kick out of this, I hope, because I hope he puts two and two together. So anyways, Zach and I had a lot in common. We talked a lot about different things, and I found out that both of us played Minecraft because I played with Riley, and I enjoyed it. I'm a gamer, so a gamer. I use that term loosely because I really haven't played much lately. But so we talked about that, and eventually we started emailing because he wanted to have his own like server, and he had really nobody else to do it with. So I said, yeah, Riley will enjoy it and it'll be cool. And so it took us a long time to get it to work, but then it finally worked. And we talked on there, and we talked through email, and we became really good friends. So I mean, we talked from, like, I would say the beginning of 2015 all through the summer. I went on vacation that summer, and I showed him pictures of the vacation, and then I think that summer there was a meteor shower, and we were like emailing back and forth about that because it was really neat. And I was like, oh, emailing is so lame. So he gave me his cell phone number, and we just started texting instead. At that point in time, things between Adam and I were kind of going downhill, and nothing wrong on his part. It was me. Like, at that point in my life, my mental state, like, I felt like I needed more than what I was getting, which, looking back, that relationship, I mean, it's the same relationship I'm in right now. It was the best relationship I've ever been in, and I took it for granted, and thankfully we got back together down the road because he really means a lot to me. I'm gonna start crying, so I better move on because, yeah. So we broke up in August, and Zach and I became really good friends quickly, and I mean, it became flirtatious, and at that point I was, you know, in probably one of the roughest points in my life. I lost my job at Lord & Taylor that year, and that really sucked, and it really hit me hard because anybody that knows me knows that even to this day, that was my favorite job that I've ever had. I loved the people that I worked with. I loved what I did. It was so much fun. And so it was like devastating that the store closed, and I was without a job for quite a while. So Zach and I, we talked a lot, and he told me about this show called Chuck. So we started watching it together, and I really loved this show. Like, and the main character is played by Zachary Levi, who is amazing. He is like one of the best actors out there, in my opinion, and he's really good looking. But yeah, so we watched that a lot. We watched the Princess Bride. He loves that. I've always loved The Princess Bride. That was one of my favorite movies. And so down the road, like, I guess, you know, feelings started to develop, and we both sort of like kind of admitted it, but not really. And then finally, you know, we ended up in, I would guess you would say it was a relationship, long distance. He does not live anywhere near here, and it was complicated. And I mean, what I was lacking in my previous relationship, I was getting what I felt I was lacking in my previous relationship with Adam. I felt like I was getting with this, but I was also, it was also a relationship that was lacking because we weren't together. And we talked and texted all the time, but we never video chatted. Well, we did, but I was the only one who had my camera on, and that is, you know, that is something that I struggled with. I didn't think much of it for a long time, but then I started getting frustrated with it because I had been in a long distance relationship before, and we Skyped all the time, and that's what made it work for so long. So I started getting frustrated. I felt like I was being like catfished or something, so I reached out to Catfish. I went on their site. They were casting at the time, and I put in my story, and I actually got a text back from one of the staff or producer, or I don't know like what his role is with the show, but he texted me. He said he wanted to hear more about it and this and that. So I called him, but when I called him, because it's like 3 hours difference, I had to leave a message, and I'm sure they get hundreds and hundreds of messages. So he never ended up reaching back out to me again. But I had told Zach about it. I was like, listen, I reached out to them. I was like, I don't know why you won't show me who you are, like, and it all boiled down to insecurities and this and that, which I understand because I have my own. But I tried to push past that because I wanted it to work at that point in time. But I mean, we ended up breaking up, and I eventually found my way back to Adam, and I'm happy that things happened the way they did, because it made me realize a lot of things about myself. It made me realize a lot of things about my relationship with Adam, and it really it took a lot of time for me to really realize it, obviously, but that doesn't negate what happened with Zach, because, you know, there were feelings there. I still care for him. I wish him the best. I mean, he's a really, really good person, and he would never hurt anybody, and I really, like, I still consider him my best friend. We've told each other a lot of things. I've told him so many things that I've never told anybody, because one, I know he can't tell anybody that that I know personally, so it was like my safe space. And yeah, I just I wasn't being catfished. It just all boiled down to insecurities, but I was almost on the show. So I mean, if you're ever in a situation like that where you end up in a long distance relationship, I wouldn't commit to it unless you know, hey, this is the person I'm talking to, and because it's emotionally, like, wearing on you. But I wouldn't change anything in my past. I wouldn't I have no regrets, and I'm at a point in my life where things are finally coming together for me, and I really hope that Zach gets that in his life, because he deserves it. He is a really, really good person, and I really wish him all the best. And that's pretty much it for this video. That's all my thoughts out there. I really hope that I wasn't all over the place. I have my notes here. That's why I kept looking down. So if you like this video and you want to see more, hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can know when I upload again. Bye!